This is Rich Lieberman. You know, boy, that's a good start. Excuse me. One thing that I've always prided myself on, and maybe it's a little, I don't know, maybe it's too uber congratulatory and all that, but if that's the case, so be it. I want to mention it. It's the fact that I have always been, even when I'm most critical and to be downright fair, perhaps a little crude, but fair, is I don't hide my feelings. I don't write anonymous crap. If I make accusations and perhaps say things that nobody else will say, I'm not boasting about that. What I am boasting about is the fact that I am very public about my feelings, not scoops, not news. Every now and then, I let you know my feelings, critiques. And I'm proud to say that I don't go the anonymous route when I make feelings known, especially when I rip people and say TV news operations and stations like, for example, ABC7 News, Bay Area, KGO TV, part of the Mouse Mafia. They're fakers. Not all of them, of course. And I'm talking about the on air people. I don't know many of the off air people. They might know me because of what I do here, but I've known a few people over the years who worked there. And I'm not going to get into detail on that because that's not pertinent to this posting, this broadcast. And I've talked about this sort of skimmed around the edges, saying that this is an operation that is essentially, absolutely, totally Disney personified. The Disney Corporation, which I used to think as a little kid growing up, the happiest place on earth, Disneyland, and all the cute little things and people and Happy Land, Mickey Mouse and Disneyland, and now it's just a pile of fakers, and phonies, exemplified here by their once legacy station status, and that was KGO, Circle 7. And now is nothing more than a bunch of amateur acts. People that are, I call them the zombies. They don't even care about their fallen colleagues, like, say, a Channel 7, 7 by your side anchor guy who just suddenly disappeared one day and nobody says anything. Cowards. And the people that work there now who think they're God's gift to the earth. These are very, very crude people, ruthless, who think nothing but about themselves. Now, by the way, I want to separate something here. It's very important. The other day, I reported on the unfortunate situation that took place in front of the KGO Cron building at 900 Front when a madman, some crazy guy apparently, broke into the lobby, subsequently beat up a guard, got up into the newsroom. That was a news report that I broke here. Has nothing to do with this. This broadcast has to do about the zombies that make up KGO TV. Some of them very widely known anchors and co anchors and weather people and sports people who are obnoxious, who make fun of and belittle little people in their world, who run all over interns, who make life miserable for some people just trying to earn a living. And I'm not even talking about the Disney organization now and how they treat their TV news workers, most of whom are good people, work hard under a ton of stress, like we all do. What irks me is the fact that these fakers, and that's what they are, they're fakers, they come across as caring journalists. Some of them are lead anchors, some of them are alleged singers, some of them make it look as if they're all good people and fun to be around and care about their fellow craftsmen, but are not, but are anything but that, who project one image on television and who exemplify a most unworthy image off the camera. And I'm sick of it because there are a lot of things that you can accuse me of, and you'd be probably very accurate. But one thing is, I don't pretend to be a phony and act differently when I'm not doing this. Oh, I've made mistakes in my life. Everybody has, everybody will. But what irks me is the fact that you folks, the consumers of Bay Area news, who still watch these people who have inflated egos, who think their it doesn't stink, and say nothing when they should say something, who are zombies, body snatchers. Remember that movie, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Donald Sutherland. It's about these people that were basically zombies. They walked around, pranced around, were thoughtless, were emotionless. And that's what, by and large, not all, but most of these people who work at Channel 7. This is the station that once was KGO TV, and Jerry Jensen and Van Amber and Martin Wyatt. Yes, even Pete Giddings and Russ Coughlin, and who had real television news heritage and regalia and worked at their craft and showed personality and showed compassion and showed an edge, an edge that was worthy of noting. And now the zombies, the fakers, they don't care about fellow colleagues. They don't care about their work going out there. They project false images and pretend to look and act as if they gave a damn, but they don't. Want to know somebody you can ask? Of course, he hasn't said anything in a long time. In fact, nobody has. Michael Finney, who was there 33 years. I haven't spoken to Finney. I don't know what's going on. I've heard that there was a contract dispute. There was some fracas, not physically. And all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. Then they replace him with some Yahoo named Stephanie Sierra. Geez, I wonder how Steph got her job. The daughter of a very prominent ex-congresswoman by the name of Jackie. This has nothing to do with that. I just bring that, it's part of it. It's part of my disgust when I see these folks and how they walk around the newsroom and they do little things and try to come off as holier than thou. But they're not. They aren't. They're just as wanton, crude, and obnoxious as we can be, and still are. I want all of you to know who watch this. I've never pretended nor said that I was a Boy Scout. Far from it. Always made a notation of the many, many things that I'm not proud of. Didn't hurt anybody other than myself. Continue the same pace. But I never said that I was a king or that I was an expert. I have an opinion. I like to talk generally about media, especially the media entities, the people, the anchors, the reporters, the journalists, the real journalists who do the hard work, practice the old sugar. How can I put this? The old style of journalism. They make phone calls and they investigate. And when they're on the air, if they're not reporting, if they're anchoring, they don't act like they're prima donnas or project a false faker image. Most of these people do a good job, but a lot, again, they just don't know how to be real and genuine. And it's exemplified a lot at the Mouse House at 900 Front, KGO TV. Now, let me get this straight. There's a lot of good people, especially behind the scenes, editors, producers, executive producers, assignment editors, reporters, even a few anchors who do hard work. And those people continue to be loyal to them, viewers. Watch them, think of what the others off camera do, and be happy that they're there. But don't be happy or show any kind of enthusiasm for the fakers, some of whom are on your screens every night at news time, evening, midday, morning. Understand that these people have gigantic egos and are insufferable. And so big and so huge their ego, they forget about common sense. And common virtues. And come across as fakers. And that's exactly what they are. I'm not angry. I just want to reveal something. There are good people, and then there are not necessarily bad people, just people that are disingenuous to the max. If you don't know what disingenuous is, look it up. It's worthy of your time.